almost everyone has encountered certain kind of abuse. Mentally, emotionally, financially. Especially women. I always say that by the age of 15, almost every young girl has gone through a form of sexual harassment. Sometimes can turn or become sexual abuse. But we don't have the opportunity to talk about these things and how they affect us. Today we'll have a practical conversation that we will share stories, instances where we have been abused that we were unable to talk about, especially from childhood. The dilemma of the abused victim. Sometimes we are shut up because we want to protect the dignity of certain respected people in our society, or for the sake of peace that in the long run doesn't give the victim some form of peace. Let's take a breather. When we are back, we delve into more. I am Martha Spice. Stay tuned. Growing up, it was so difficult finding answers to all the questions that bothered my young mind. As soon as I found my purpose and understood my mandate, I made it a mission to answer as many questions as possible, bothering young people. I have mentored, inspired, and helped young people unearth their potentials through the Martha Spice Foundation. However, I feel it is time to bring the conversation much closer to you. We have you in mind, you the young person. With my team of experts, we bring to you the Reflection Show, a show that focuses on addressing issues young people face, helping them to unearth their potentials, and giving them nothing but the best avenues in helping them solve issues that they may face in their young age. Join me, Martha Spice, every Thursday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on Truth TV, the Reflection Show, restoring hopes. Welcome back from the break. The dilemma of the abuse victim. I'm here with Jueria. I hope I got the name correctly. Osman.
Yes.
Fruit Fusion CEO. They do a lot of things on fruits. She will tell us more. I may not be able to mention all the products or services that she has. And Abdallah Yasmin, mental health advocate. You've seen Yasmin on the show with Kenny, and there was the name of that guy. They spoke plenty. That day I didn't get time to talk. When we spoke about social media and relationships and all that. But today we want to look at the dilemma of the abuse victim and the issues we actually do not talk about. I want to start with Jueria, so that maybe next time when she's coming, she can bring us some fruit juice for us to take. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
So straight to the point, when we talk about abuse, what is abuse in the first place?
Most of the time when people ask me what abuse is, I don't need to go straight to the definition in the dictionary or, what people think is the right word to use. I just use myself as an example. And I tell them, abuse is inflicting pain on others, like pain that they can never forget, whether physically, emotionally, or both. And sometimes people make it seem like others are overreacting when you talk about abuse, but it's actually deeper than we actually think. So basically, for me, abuse is inflicting pain on others that they can't easily let go.
Yasmin.
Yes.
Abuse.
So abuse is treating people or someone with harm.
Harm, any kind of something that will harm them mentally, emotionally. Yeah. Okay. Let me come back to you. Have you ever been abused?
I'm glad today I'm going to answer this question with a smile on my face. Because I've been able to overcome so many, like a lot of forms of abuse. Because years back, if you should ask me this question, I'll look you in the eye and shed a tear. And today, as strong as I am, I don't think I have any right to even cry because it's really shaped me into who I am. Yes, I have been abused at the age of 14 going 15. And
What form of abuse?
Sexual abuse. Yes, I was abused at the age of 14. And sometimes I try to be very careful with how I choose my words when I want to talk about this, because in my case it led to a pregnancy where it's not like the child is not in the picture, so I try as much as I can to be careful, because I don't want my child watching it to feel any type of way.
Yeah.
So fortunately I got pregnant. And I'm so glad that she's here, and I'm happy. Even though I used to have issues, I used to think about the past, and I used to cry a lot. And it took me so many years to get over. And today I'm a proud mother of a 19-year-old in the university. I am the only one raising her, and I'm so glad I did.
Wow.
Having a kid at that age, 15, was a blow.
Was.
It's not something. It's not easy. I mean, and when people ask me how I raised her, I'm able to do it. I tell people that I didn't do it by myself. My mom has been there, and then God, because at that age I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't the woman I am today.
So was the person like a familiar person? Did you know the person, or I don't know, at 14? Like how did it happen?
Yeah, I mean, at the time we were actually in their house, so
Like a compound house.
Compound house.
Oh, okay.
Where my mom and siblings, and so of course those days my mom didn't have a television set, so we used to go watch TV there. And yes, that was how I was taking advantage.
How old was he? Was he an adult?
He was probably late 20s.
Ooh, that was like more than 2 times your age
20s,
at that time.
Yes, so that was how it happened. And the fear of me telling my mom was like, I just couldn't stand it, because at the time my mom wasn't in town, and then I went there to watch TV and that happened, and he told me not to tell anybody. And yes, I did it. I kept mute until, because I think at the time I had just had my first menstrual. That was my first menstrual cycle. After I didn't know what ovulation period. I didn't know anything about those things. So, I mean, weeks later, I was vomiting, and I still didn't know what
was
pregnancy. What was going on. My mom was so pained that, God forgive me, but I mean, she tried to do something about it. And I mean, she was told that the level at which the thing had gotten to, I could die.
So she had to leave it. Wow.
And I'm so glad I did this. I don't know where I would have been by now, but I'm sure I would have had my first child at 28, because my second child they're actually 13 years apart. You can imagine.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes when you tell someone that, oh, I have a kid, hey, you started early, then I laugh, because you probably don't know the story. So I don't like talking about it. I just feel like, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the youngest mother alive, and I'm so glad, because she's in uni. And
I believe while working with her, they'll think she's your sister.
Oh, everybody actually thinks so. And I remember the first day I was going to UDS with her. We met a lecturer, and he was like, "Are you both coming to UDS?"
Yes,
and I said, "Yes." And then she looked at me and looked at him, and she was like, "That's my mom." He said, "No way." So sometimes I'm so happy that today I'm talking about this with smiles.
We'll come there more. I want us to really hammer on the abuse more. Yasmin, have you been abused, and how did it happen, and what type of abuse was that?
Okay, so yes, I've been sexually abused. My first experience was when I was, I think, 7 or 8 years. That was with my auntie's husband. Yes.
Familiar people.
Yes. And then the second one, So the second one was a very, very close relative. A very, very close relative. Yeah.
I'm getting nervous. How did it happen?
Okay,
If you don't mind talk about it.
Even till date, I'm still like that. I'm all touchy. I love people. I love to hug and all that. And that's how I was when I was young.
Yeah.
So I think they took advantage of that because I was all over my uncle. I was all over the very close relative in question. I was very close with them. I was always hugging. I was always
trying to, yeah.
Yes. So I think they took advantage of that to take advantage of of me. Yeah.
Did they ever try to report?
No.
Why?
At that time, I didn't even know it was abuse.
Okay.
At that time.
So the first one was at 7 years. Second one was at what age?
Years. SS1 was what age?
And you didn't understand it was abuse even at SS?
Maybe I felt it was love.
Okay.
I felt it was love. I felt.
Were you dating the second person?
No.
Okay.
That was a very close relative.
So love, okay, agape love.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
I'll come back to you on that.
Okay.
Did you ever try to report even years after?
No. Like Yasmin mentioned, sometimes you don't even know. Like those days it's not like now that
you have
Google that
information.
you can go and then know certain information. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
And those days we used to be so scared of our parents to the point that you feel like if you report to them, they'll do something to you.
True.
And there's a person who is telling you not to tell. You do know what the person is going to do to you. So for me, I never reported. I never got to that point.
So when you got pregnant, how did the process of identifying, I almost said the pregnancy.
Yeah, when this happened, this guy found a way to smuggle me into his room.
Again?
And then I was staying there. Yes, I was literally there. My mom was looking for me.
For how long?
I think a week or two. I still remember, I've forgotten some episodes, but mostly I sat down and then I went to picture every detail because I need that information for something in future. So like my mom would be looking for me, she won't find me. So the whole thing was so messy because my dad had just passed, like I think a year after, a year before then, and my mom was not okay. So this is a poor woman taking care of her children, and this has happened. So she was really devastated.
Did she try to report to the police?
Oh yeah, it happened, and of course those days until now we know that the poor doesn't get. I mean, they don't get justice. I mean, if you don't have the money. So a lot of things happened, and then the issue was just squashed like that. But I know I have a duty to take this on. And I'm saying this live. I'm going to do something about it in the future.
To still get him arrested or something?
You have no idea.
Ooh, Mr. Man, we are coming for you.
I want to add up.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So, unlike now, before, we didn't get our parents or our guardians to tell us, if someone touches this part of your body, report to me or tell me. Don't let someone touch this part of your body. We didn't get that. So
it was just if a man touched you, and we thought it was normal touch.
Yes, even with me, I didn't even get that. You know how they lie to you and tell you when they touch you, you get pregnant, or when a man talks to you, you get pregnant. I didn't even get that. There are a lot of things I didn't get anyone to teach me on. So when it all happened, I felt it was love. So the second one, the very close relation, it got to a point, my school teacher, SS2, I was very close with him. So I opened up to him. So that was when I started realizing it was abuse. It was something wrong.
Wow.
And when I started drawing back, when I started rejecting him, then I became his enemy. Yes, so he made my life very comfortable.
So it went on for a while.
Yeah, it took
from SS1 to how many
SS3.
years?
So it was in SS3, I think, second term. That was when I started drawing back, and I became his enemy. But
was he like supporting you financially or
yes,
something?
Yes, he was the one taking care of me. Very close relation. a very close relation.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to think about this. Like for that long.
Yeah.
And no one
So-
ever found out.
So it was years later, after secondary school, I think 2 or 3 years later, I got a boyfriend, and I was able to, because I had very bad relationships with men.
Yeah.
It was bad. So this person gave me up, was like a safe space. So I was able to talk to him about things. So I told him about it, and then he got close to my big sister, and then he told her.
Your sister.
So that was when she also told my
Parents?
to my other siblings. So my twin brother said he suspected something like that.
Okay.
It was just a suspicion. He suspected something like that. But before then, I hadn't told anybody apart from my secondary school teacher. Yeah.
Wow. Like, you know, I'm looking at the close relative because it's family, and and I'm just wondering for that long.
Yeah.
It's always the closest people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, aside the one I'm talking about, I've experienced some other.
Okay.
You know,
Have you experienced any physical abuse, like a man trying to hit you?
physical abuse. I think once, and for me, immediately you hit me, I'm leaving. So I think there's a perception about women who always leave,
After physical abuse.
or any
whatever
form of
abuse, emotional as well.
I believe that I have actually done a lot of work on myself to get to where I am when it comes to my mental health. It's key. Like, it's something I cherish so much. So once I get into a relationship, or I'm getting to know someone and I see red flags, I'm able to see, I'm able to detect it. And people always make me feel like, oh, why don't you find it hard to leave? Like, you easily let people go. But let me go back. All these things happened to me when I was very young, when my dad passed. My stepdad, I call him my dad because he was the one who stood in for me.
Okay.
And then Yasmin mentioned something, saying she felt loved. I felt that at some point. A lot of females actually have that father wound.
True.
You know, they
True.
have that problem.
Yeah.
When it comes to men not loving their daughters right.
Yeah.
And so when you go out there and a man
Exactly.
shows you just
A
a
little.
form of, love, then you are hooked. I have suffered it. Even in my adult age, I have actually suffered it, where I needed a safe space where I could talk to someone who would just love me, because I didn't get to enjoy that love from a man.
Yeah.
And that man I loved very much left me when I was very young. So I always have this mindset, oh, let me just enjoy the moment. If you go, you go. So I don't struggle. So when I leave a relationship, it's funny, I just bounce back to normal.
Wow.
That is how it has affected me. And people feel that it's a toxic trait. I don't like it, but I think I like it.
Because you don't
I
end up
struggle.
crying and not eating
that's
because you
not
have a
me.
broken heart.
I must eat.
You must eat.
Because after everything that has happened in my life, I think I made peace with myself, accepted that this person is still here. She's alive. I mean, she annoys me and makes me happy at the same time. I think I enjoy everything when it comes to me and my daughter. But I have experienced other forms, like emotional abuse, mental. I have experienced it. I'm just coming out from one, and I'm glad I moved. People don't talk about narcissism enough.
But about
when
going
you get
there.
to experience a narcissistic relationship, trust me, you'll never be the same again. It takes the strongest people to survive.
And they make you feel you are always the wrong.
Yes.
You are,
right.
It's so funny. There's this lady on TikTok, I've forgotten her name. She said that she and her friend did a survey on people who have been with such partners, and then like it's there's always there are few common things that you find. So she was like once she meets one, she knows. And she showed a video of a woman who was holding a lady's underwear, and she was asking the man that is the man cheating on her, and she was aggressive. From the beginning, it looked like the man was lying. But she was rather the narcissist.
Okay.
Then she was like, and the man said, no, I won't be with anyone. And I was like, I know. And the man was like, you know how? Because the underwear is mine. And he's like, so why are you accusing me of something? But before the story ended, if you didn't end the video, you would think that the man was...
Yeah, in as much as we have female narcissists, but
the men are more.
The research I have done shows that 98% of men are narcissists. Yeah, it's very, like, until I experienced it, I didn't know that it was this deep.
Yeah.
To the point that I had to, I mean, you just saw me going through an anxiety here. I have experienced panic attacks in the same relationship where I was supposed to feel safe. So people overlook a lot of women who have father issue, like we don't get enough love from our fathers. When a man love bombs us, we just feel that is it.
True.
But that is a red flag from a narcissist.
Yes.
Yeah.
When a man starts love bombing you, trust me, that's a red flag. You need to move.
Yeah.
But I felt loved, and then I gave in. People spoke to me. I refused to listen. I still went in.
That's the thing. If it's like everything they do, people are able to see it and say, this guy, move away.
Yes.
And you don't. I always say that my friend Jonathan, if Jonathan tells you that this guy, move away, and you are there, he will go back and come and say, I told ya.
Yeah.
Because he said he's a man, and once he sees that this guy is playing you, he knows. So I think that's like men know who is good and who is bad. Because from the beginning, they want to be like angels, to want to treat you right, so that that's why some girls end up cutting off. Like, well, God forbid, I can never do that though, but like to cut off your friends, and it's like you build your whole life around them. How did you get over that emotionally, like with that trauma after you found out everything? Was he ever arrested? Whatever happened to him? How did the family handle it?
He was never arrested. It was never reported to the police. It was just between me, my siblings, and the few people who knew. After some years, I think people, my psychologist too, says I've still not gotten over it. I'm still holding on to it. But I don't know if I'm lying to myself or if that's it. But till date, even as we speak now, right from here, I'm going to start feeling empty and a whole lot of emotions. But for now, I feel I'm okay. I'm able to talk about it and all that. Unlike before, I wouldn't have been able to talk about it. But I don't think I've gotten over it. It's a scar. It's a scar that
it goes and comes.
The scar is always there. The scar is always there.
Do you think people try to let us feel like this small thing? Like, have you had people make you feel that you're overreacting?
One funny thing. I have depression. I have anxiety. I have bipolar. So I've been having episodes. And some years back, something like this happened, and my sister was like, are you sure you were not hallucinating about me telling them about the abuse? And I was like, hallucination? Wow. I was like, okay. So it still rings in my head. Maybe she has forgotten, but it still rings in my head. So how can I be hallucinating with such a thing or about such a thing? Yeah. Someone would say, just get over it. Just come out of it.
This small thing too.
No.
Like what I don't like it. This small thing. It's not
nothing.
anything.
And some people will even say depression is nothing. What is
or
bipolar?
It's not real.
Or mental health is not, what is mental health? Depression.
It's just in your head that someone just no. I hear those things too.
No, it's not that easy.
Tell me about some practical episodes. Sometimes I've been depressed before.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have energy to do anything.
Yeah.
You wake up. I remember for some time, for a whole week, I would just come, take tea.
Yeah.
Once I'm done, even to wash the cup was a challenge. I would just put it in the sink. The next morning or the next I'm hungry. So you could come and say
At least you are even able to eat.
The eating is not like you have the energy to. You eat when you start feeling
but I think
pain.
some people eat more even with,
some people eat more.
I wasn't able to eat all, but I only eat like when I'm so hungry. And sometimes even to take a shower, I think it was sometimes I was to even 3 days. I didn't even shower. I was just in the room. I had locked myself. I didn't go out. I could just see a call and I won't pick. and I'll be bored, just wanting someone to chat with. I could open my chat, here about 20, 30 chats. I don't want to talk with anyone. And I'm just there. I'll get up, maybe go. Like, it was crazy. It's like
I think I got to that point, and then 4 people ended up falling in love with me, and I was running away.
What did you do?
No, I just had to run. I'll block you. Why are you falling in love with me? I was just vulnerable. I wanted to talk to somebody. I didn't need love. So sometimes it gets your mind, your brain messed up.
Yes.
Because when you get into that situation, I mean, my past relationship, the recent one I'm talking about, was so, I experienced manipulation, gaslighting, breadcrumbing. That was the relationship that made me to school myself on narcissism.
I like the breadcrumbing thing. It's like they are in,
they are not in. Then they come, let's fix it. That was how
messing
it was.
with your head.
when
They are
you
messing
have
with your head.
psyched your mind that I'm leaving, then they come and do all the right things
The right
we're
things.
expecting. Then
Yes.
you go back again, then they pull away. That's
Yes.
my
goodness. For that, I mean, the people, those kind of people, trust me, when you meet them, they have very good composure, extremely good. They are the loving one in the room, so they show the other people that, hey, they are caring, how much they love their partner. They'll talk very highly of their partner, but behind closed doors,
They don't
Yes,
act
their
like
partners
that.
are suffering.
Yes.
And that was my situation. It got to a point I had panic attack. Like, I couldn't sleep. I could actually feel my heart beating
So
in
that
my
one
hand.
too is abuse. Let's tell them. Gaslighting,
Yeah,
breadcrumbing, it's
it's all
abuse.
manipulation.
Yeah.
You dealing with people when they know what they are doing to you, but they tell you that, what am I doing?
Yes.
This person has cut you and you are bleeding. And then you are shouting. Then they are like, "Why are you shouting?" That's a very serious mental this thing. They are stimulating your brains, and it's not healthy for anybody.
Not
be
at all.
it a man or woman. I don't think anybody should
Go through that.
go through that, because I have had my fair share, and then I tell my daughter that I share these experiences with
So
you
she knows
because
better.
I want you to be able to spot it. You see how he's behaving towards me. You see how he did this. I make sure I share with her. But someone will tell you, hey, you don't have to tell your daughter.
You have
but you
to.
are wrong. This girl is of age.
19, yeah.
19. And I'm still very young. And I don't want my child to go through that. I don't know how negatively it will impact her life. But I think it will do her more good than harm.
Sure.
Because she will know what to look out for.
Exactly.
And
place so much value on herself.
Yeah. And this is a person who would be hurting me, and he will go behind closed doors acting all nice to my girl. He bought her this, he bought her that, so she doesn't detect what he's doing.
Or even if you are telling her that he did this, you'll be like, oh, mommy, no, he did
She will
this.
not believe it. So for me, I tell my friends that before you go into that relationship, that marriage, please don't be like me. Because honestly, I think my mom saw from a distance. My mom just didn't want it. And I said, no.
That's one thing about love. Everybody sees it except you.
And the funny thing is that for me, yes, the first one was love, because we had separated for a while. And then I gave a second chance. For the first time in my entire life, I gave a second chance. And finally,
you had to now go.
oh yes. Because the person would show
it
you
again.
who they truly are. Narcissists don't change.
They show you pepper.
They don't change. They always adjust, but they don't change.
They always
They don't
adjust,
change.
but they
Narcissists don't change.
yes. I remember there was a time that, and sometimes they feel that you're overreacting. I was supposed to go out for dinner with someone. We had planned a time, I think 7 p.m. one evening. From 4, I started calling the person. The person wasn't answering. Actually, I even got worried because I was like, why? What's happening? Up to 9 p.m. Then the person calls back and sounds normal. Oh, how are you? I'm fine. And I'm expecting you to start saying, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't pick your call. And what? Then the person just started talking normal, and I'm like, didn't see my calls. I saw we're supposed to. And the person tried to blame, and I've been busy, and I've been doing. I was like, so why did you not communicate? And the person was like, is that why I'm overreacting? I'm like, whoa, you are supposed to be apologize. So I told him, please apologize to me. The person was on the phone and said, well, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's like I'm begging for the apology.
He didn't mean it.
No, he didn't mean it.
it.
And
That's
I'm
how
like,
he
you need to
apologized.
make it up to me. And that's when I felt like, you even telling me that I'm overreacting, you are trying to gaslight me.
That's a red flag.
Making me feel, because me, once I book an appointment with you and I'm getting late, I'll send you a text. So that is in fact, banner, red banner. Not red flag. That's the red banner. So once you meet people that sometimes don't take responsibility for the things they do, just run. And imagine you have even cancelled your appointments because you have been, okay, let's hang out this day. You be like, oh, let's postpone it. And they make you feel like, hey.
Most of the time, actually, when we talk about this narcissistic behavior, trust me, you can't tell me this person is a narcissist and they are not serial cheats. They are. Narcissists have two personalities. They'll show this person the other personality and show this one. So once you are with a narcissist as a lady, and then you realize that he's doing all the right thing with the other person, just to, one thing people don't know,
it's not for them.
Don't want to lose supply. We call it supply.
Hey, we'll come back for that. Let me take a break. So once they are being good to Martha, they are being bad to Yasmin. So if Yasmin says, hey, I was going to use someone's name as an example. If someone says Jonathan is a narcissist, anyway, Jonathan, I'm joking. Anyways, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Growing up, it was so difficult finding answers to all the questions that bothered my young mind. As soon as I found my purpose and understood my mandate, I made it a mission to answer as many questions as possible, bothering young people. I have mentored, inspired, and helped young people unearth their potentials through the Martha Inspires Foundation. However, I feel it is time to bring the conversation much closer to you. We have you in mind, you the young person. With my team of experts, we bring to you the Reflection Show, a show that focuses on addressing issues young people face, helping them to unearth their potentials, and giving them nothing but the best avenues in helping them solve issues that they may face in their young age. Join me, Martha Inspires, every Thursday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on Truth TV, the Reflection Show, restoring hopes. Welcome back from the break. We are having a very interesting, amazing conversation on the dilemma of the abuse victim, and we are touching every other aspect. And one of the things that we want you to understand is that stop downplaying the hurt of people. Not everybody has that capacity to just feel okay. You know, sometimes people feel like this small thing, please, let's stop doing that because people are really going through so much. Tell me very practically sometimes that how did you handle the hurt during those times? And how does it go a long way to affect you?
As young as I was, I think it took me years. I mean, after I had her, I had to go back to school because at the time my grandma was in America. And I remember the very day I had her, she called, now that the baby is out, what next? We'll go back to school. So I'm a very stubborn girl, yeah. So, you know, at the time, I wouldn't listen to it because I was so energetic. The strength is there. You would not even think that, when I was pregnant, you would not even see pregnancy, nothing.
Okay, I'd also have very small stomachs.
Yes. So, after everything, honestly, my mom, in fact, I'm so proud of that woman, and I just thank God for giving me my mom. She stood in. She did everything, taking care of this girl, and the only thing I had to do was just to hustle and bring the money. Let's take care of. So the good thing is that, I mean, we were able to stand in, take care of her without they coming to claim her later. They actually tried.
They tried to claim their child.
Yeah, they actually tried. And then at the time, she was a very smart kid. So whenever they go to the school, she'll come and tell her grandma, some people came to pick me up, and then she'll cry.
Wow.
So they tried, and my mom said, no, we'll raise our thing. Just let it be. So the problem is that where we come from, I am Dagomba, and I'm not trying to, excuse me to say that our people, I think they need to educate themselves on these topics because they downplay almost everything. They feel like, oh, like it's a bad child. She wanted it. But they don't know that these things go a long way in affecting the victims. So in my case, after some years, when I even started dating, it affected me.
You didn't trust men?
No, should I say trust? No, it affected me sexually.
Okay.
I never enjoyed sex up until, when I say this to people will be shocked, up until 32.
Wow. Because at a point you felt that everything that was happening was like an abuse or something that was happening.
I met a guy at the age of 20 when I was in Accra, and very lovely guy.
Did he know you were abused?
Did everything. I mean, I told him I had a child, but it was very difficult to share at the time. And even at the time, I was shy to even let people know that I had a child. I was hiding my child. Yes, it was very difficult. But when you see me, you never think that I've given birth before. But I was shy to just bring it out. Because small girl, 20 years, you have a 3-year-old. How? It was a shame. It was something I struggled with for a very long time. And so sexually, it affected me. Until now, whenever he contacts me, then you punish me, that he can count the number of times we've had sex. And it was true. Because I felt he was forcing himself on me. I didn't want it.
So that is one of the pressure or the consequences sexual abuse can have on people. Because there is a story that I've heard from people where even in marriages, the women are unable to go to bed with their husbands just because of all this trauma.
It was bad.
Wow.
And he was complaining, but I didn't know how to help myself. So at some point, I think when I was 23, 24, I used to be an actress. I was all over TV. I get to meet people. I get to talk to them. And then a friend gave me one psychologist number to talk to him. So I think that was the beginning of my healing.
So you had to go for therapy. Yes. That helped you.
There was a time I could sit in my room like this. I'll be thinking how my life would have been without this. How my life would have been without this. Then I'll just cry. So the crying was also a form of therapy for me. And then slowly I was able to let go. Because I had
But were you seeing the man around?
Never, till now. I think I saw him at my daughter's.
So after that, like he left the house or he left?
No, we had to leave.
Okay, so
we had to leave. And then I think I saw him, years back, my daughter's graduation. I don't know what happened because my mom believes that no matter what.
That's the father.
So I didn't know she had invited him. So when they were calling me to come talk to him, my daughter told me, don't go. They are calling you because he's here. She told me. And this girl will look me in the eye and tell me, I don't have a father. You are my mother and my father. And, you know.
And do you think probably because of the things you told your daughter about the father?
Funny
or
enough,
what your mother
I
told?
spent time with my child. I was away. Okay. My mom was in the picture.
Or bad story she heard about her father?
No, my mom, I mean, she would have done it to us because my mom was a single mother too when she left my dad. And she never bad-mouthed our dad to us. That I can stand for my mom. My mom will never
say bad things about your dad.
And this girl would just... One thing that really shook me was when she was in JHS 2 and they told them to write about their fathers. No, I don't want to cry. And she wrote it. She wrote everything. So I was searching her bag and then I found the paper. Then I read it. I don't have a father. My dad doesn't know what I eat or what I wear. She wrote a lot. My mom is that was the end bit. My mom is my mom and my father. I wept that day. And I didn't ask any questions. But all I kept telling her was that, you know the age I had you. And I will sacrifice anything to let you go, to get to where I haven't gotten to. And that's the reason why I didn't go back to school again after diploma. Yes, because I had to. Today, I haven't been to uni. My daughter is in uni. She's studying public health. I did it all by myself. So for someone to think that these things doesn't have an impact, I wonder.
I need to meet your daughter and hear from her side
I
of the story.
wanted to come with her,
how
but
it
she's
feels
reading
like.
about her home.
Yasmin, how did you deal with the trauma during the days? Were the days you cried, the pain? How has it been?
So it's not been easy. It was never easy. I sometimes, and I still do, once in a while, self-harm because I'm not able to.
Self-harm, like you want to harm yourself.
Yeah, I self-harm. I cut myself.
Wait, slow down.
Yes.
You want to cut yourself sometimes.
Yes, because I'm not
That's
able
not bad.
to handle the emotional pain anymore. You know, it's like you put a cup or a bucket under a flowing tap and then it gets full. What happens to it? It overflows. So that's what happened to me. So I'm not able to handle it anymore. So the only thing that gives me relief is the self-harm. I start to feel something. I just have to cut myself. I just have to hit myself or do something that will hurt my body. And it makes me feel some relief. Someone would say it's spiritual. Someone would say you're mad or you're crazy, but that's not it.
So when you harm your body,
I feel some kind of relief, honestly.
give me an instance this year, have you had an episode?
Yes, I have. I've had about 2 episodes, yeah? Yeah, I've had about 2 episodes.
Oh.
What did you
Yeah.
do?
I cut myself
With knife or blade or
with a
what?
louver blade. Yeah. I sometimes have
You-
rubber bands on my wrist
You
and then I
didn't
just
feel
keep-
the pain while you were cutting?
It's later on I would feel the pain. It's not easy. Someone would say, why are you hurting yourself? Why are you doing this to yourself? But it's not. Because within you are fighting yourself. You are fighting something within. But no one is seeing it. No one is feeling it. You're the only one feeling it. You're the only one going through it. But it's easy for those sitting across to say, why are you doing this? You shouldn't do this. No. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets that bad. And like I said, we all handle emotions differently. And for me, one thing I always tell myself is, I'm so proud of you because I've seen people struggle with mental health a lot. And I mean, seeing Yasmin, we've met a couple of times and then I've seen how she's struggled. It's not really easy. So for me to overcome these things, I feel there's nothing that can actually stop me. And I read somewhere last night that if you're able to overcome a narcissistic abuse, Charlie, you have to walk with your shoulders high like that because narcissists are devils.
True.
And they can do anything without feeling remorse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people who hurt others, I just see them in that category. So I have learned to empathize a lot with people. So if people around me, Kenny would, she knows that I use the word empathy a lot because I feel like even though Yas is going through something that I can't relate to, doesn't mean that I shouldn't tap.
Or
her,
I keep
you
using
know.
this sentence, your feelings are valid.
Very.
Everyone's feelings are valid. And
Valid.
sometimes, I remember there was a time I was going through, I think I went through from 2019, around October, November, to about 2021. I was going through a long process of depression. And there were lots of issues around it. And it's like, the more I felt I want to talk about it, people felt it was nothing. Because there were issues and accusations with certain people. And that they would manipulate these stories about me, and they're like, "Oh, forget it. If you've not done it, and so what? Let it go." But sometimes it got to a point that now, if I even hear you say something about me, I don't know. I don't even get triggered.
Yeah.
But at that point, I remember one day I was telling someone that I'm so hurt, and they were like, "No, you're not depressed. You're just pretending, just for attention."
Yeah, I've got people
Say
that
you want
they are not
attention.
depressed. You're not depressed.
Yeah, but you want that
Yeah.
for attention. Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I've had a
Yes.
few people say that.
Yes, and I remember Dr. Emmanuel, I've forgotten his saying, he has some name that I can't mention. That time he was in Taman, he was my therapist. I used to go to TTH. And then while I was there, I couldn't keep going. So he understood what I was going through. And then he took me like a daughter. So I would go to his house and take professional therapy sessions with him for a long time. So I had lost contact with him. So one day he went on Facebook and saw what I was in, was like, that's my girl. because he knows, but you know, these are people that you are able to open up you to them without being Martha in Spies. You go there, you are Martha Nabila.
So I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you asked the question about how I. So with my sexual life, it was bad. It was bad. Anytime a man even tries to touch me, I could be in love with the person. I could be so attracted to the person. But once intimacy is about to start, it becomes an issue. So if I don't have a very patient and understanding man, the person will just move. Yeah. So it got to a time, I don't know, it wasn't deliberate, but I don't know how I became this way. I know I have a very beautiful mind, but it's beautiful and crazy. So I sometimes have to imagine crazy stuff, weird things that would turn me on, that would make me enjoy sex. Yes. So someone who doesn't understand my brain would think I am weird. Yes. I have a very weird brain. Like the things I can imagine sexually, you don't want to know.
No, we don't want to know. We don't want to know.
Yeah, so I struggle. It's made me struggle with my sexual life a lot.
How do you feel? How are you? I want a sincere answer to these two questions. I'm not asking for the formality. Good morning, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine.
I know.
How are you today? How do you feel today?
I feel beautiful today. I feel strong because one thing I have learned to do when it comes to, like 10 years ago, I didn't know that working out could help you relieve your mental illness.
Working out in gym?
Work out in general, going for a walk, doing something that makes you sweat. I didn't know these things contributed to making one's brain, happy or releasing the happy hormones. So I've been on this journey for 10 years until when I experienced the narcissistic abuse, I realized that no, I could do better. So whenever I work out,
it helps.
Nobody is beautiful than me in this world.
Hey.
When I work out, that's it's my safe space. So I'm able to work out by myself. A lot of people will tell you that, oh, me, I don't have that motivation. Me, I'll stand and work out 2 hours non-stop.
Wow.
Yes, that's how strong my mind is.
Wow.
So that is how I cope. So for about a month ago, I wasn't this okay. But I can tell you today
now you are okay.
I feel so good. I feel like something has left me, like something heavy has left my life.
Great.
And I feel very good. When I look at my 2 girls, God, and when I think about Madame, oh damn it, that little girl brings me like
so much joy.
Because the questions she will ask you, I remember she asked me, Mama, you don't have a husband again? Less than 6 years. She asked me. I think 3 days ago, she asked me that question.
You don't have a husband again?
Yeah. And I said, why? Dada is hiding. And I said, okay. Then I changed the topic. Then I should come back again.
And she'll come back to the same question,
And I was like, come and tell me about school,
Yeah, just to wallow. Because, of course, you are too young. I'll come back to you on that. Yasmin, how do you feel? How are you?
How am I? I'm okay.
Yes, that's not.
I'm okay, but now
you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm okay. I feel strong. I'm brave. Yes, that I know. But I sometimes fall. Yeah,
have a mental breakdown.
Yes, I do.
The last time I had the mental breakdown was in May. I woke up one day and it's like everything in this world just became so crazy in my mind, and I felt so bad and all that. And I'm like, what's happening? Because one moment you're like, you're okay, everything is okay. You wake up one more. And I think it was a Sunday. No, it began on a Saturday. So I thought I was bored.
Yeah.
Then the Sunday, I realized I'd noticed a mental breakdown. Then I think that the following week, I woke up, I took my phone, I called Jonathan. Before I could talk, I started crying. Oh, I was crying. Like, so at the point, he thought I was trying to pretend. And I was like, I said, where are you? Can you come to my house? Oh my goodness, Martha. I was crying. He was like, are you okay? Are you alone? I said, I'm alone. I was going to call Kenny, but Kenny's house is very far. So he said, okay, he's coming. Then he came with a friend of his. Oh, they came and cracked me up and I was fine. But you see, at that moment, when he even asked me, what is wrong with you? I couldn't tell him.
Sometimes
sometimes you can't
Yes.
find the
You
words
don't
to
know.
explain
Because
it.
I couldn't, I was going through like a lot of things.
Like
Yes.
a roller coaster.
Yes.
So sometimes when it happens that way, especially if you have had practical abuse cases and
Yeah.
all that, you may not be able to say, but it's there are a lot of things that come.
Yeah.
So when they ask you what's wrong,
You can't say.
so I was glad that when I couldn't talk, when they just came around, we just spoke. Like it was later on that I started telling them one issue to the other, and then he would tease me.
I think it's about time we
Yeah.
first people will tell you that, oh, I don't want someone to know about my issue. But you are dying.
You are dying.
I prefer to speak up or just speak out.
Sometimes the kind of friends will go
And it's
Brought
not
it up.
everyone. It's not everyone.
Martha,
It's
we
not
have
everyone.
this platform.
yeah, okay.
We are speaking our truth. I'm here telling you about something you didn't know about me.
Yeah.
Even if you've known me for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Yes. You are getting to know the story about
True.
me.
Yeah.
Does it change who I am?
Nope.
So for me, I believe that if I speak my truth, it's better. And
Yeah.
now I'm sure it's going to clear all the misinformation people had
Yes.
about me.
Yeah.
That, okay, I was small and I did that.
True.
People didn't know this about me.
Yeah.
Even my closest family, most of them didn't know this. So why don't I come out and tell people that, okay, that
was
abusive
abuse, that was the
marriage
reason,
I
yeah.
was
Yes.
in, or
Yeah.
that abusive relationship I was in, this was what I was suffering. Because this person might go behind
And say a lot of
lying
things.
about you. So people should stop, and I'm keeping it to myself. I don't
Yeah.
want anybody to know.
And with me, because of my mental health, I value my mental health. So even though I am very okay talking about whatever I've gone through, I still watch whoever I say it
Exactly.
to. Yes, because
Watch.
there are some people you say it to and then
They manipulate the conversations.
Yes,
And
so
so it depends
I
on
really
what you
watch
do.
who-
If you're a public
yeah.
figure, you should also be careful the kind of people that you talk to. I don't want to forget this question.
Okay.
You said you still want to press charges.
Yes, I do. And
You
I
want-
know if I shared this information with my mother,
She
my
will
mom,
not.
oh, that woman is so forgiving.
She would say forgive.
I wish
let's-
my mom was that hardcore. And
Do you think
all
your
the
daughter
exes that
will
have
be in
messed me
support?
up, they should go after them.
Do you think your daughter will support that?
I
Pressing charges against her father?
don't know how she's going to feel about it, but
Would that give you the justice peace you
it will
need?
give me peace.
Don't you think he's old now to
Old?
still go
No,
to
no, no.
jail?
Old to go to jail. Maybe if he spends his entire life there, that would be good.
That will give you peace.
Maybe. Because, I mean, recently, there are certain things my mom does behind my back I don't know. She asked her to go there, go greet him. And I think the very last time she went, he actually insulted her. And she
Oh,
came
wow.
crying to me and said she was never going to go there again. So you see, allow children to see things for themselves. I have allowed her, I have freed her.
Yeah.
Just go and experience that. My mom used to do that with my dad. She would tell me, you want to go, because I didn't know my dad up until the age of 12. I knew my stepdad. That's the man I call my dad. But my dad, he passed just 6 years ago. She would tell me, you go. If you think I don't
Yeah,
like you, I'm
exaggerating,
lying."
yeah.
And truly we'll go. My dad will not give us money. You leave Kumbungu and come. Because I'll go from Accra, I'll come, go visit my dad. He'll just give me coins. And my mom would say,
I
we're
told you,
because
yeah.
I couldn't speak Dagbani then. So we're home, some catch your office, you know, that thing. And I observed it. At
Yeah.
some point, my dad would sit us down and say, hey, it was people who made your mom to leave. But one day I looked him in the face and said, Dad, it was your bad character. He was shocked. So he used to call me, if you understand Dagbani, Jargon.
You're a fool.
Yes. Yeah, I told him it was your character that made my, because I know my mom is a good woman. That woman has sacrificed a lot. So for me, if I share this info with my mom, she will say it's not needed. Because she's a typical traditional Dagomba woman. Okay. She will say charity.
African man, yeah. African
leave it
mom,
to God.
yeah.
Oh,
give it
okay.
to-
But I don't know. I really don't know how she's going to act, but she needs to know about
She
this.
needs, yeah. So until
And
we
whatever
get
her
there.
advice is, I don't know if I should
Your
follow.
final words and your advice to your viewers on anything you want to talk about this topic.
This message will go to the females. I mean, there are females in this room. Young girls, please value yourself, work hard, and don't take things for granted. If you are with a man and then you think that this man is good. I mean, we meet good men. There are good men. For me, I still believe in love. So please take your time, especially work hard. When a woman has money on her own, trust me, there is no abuse that can bring her down. Work hard. That's my final, message. Hard work will take you everywhere. Own your money. Me, I have 2 girls. I always tell people that, Charlie, if you have money, money has saved me a lot. Living abusive marriages and then, exiting without thinking twice. I am who I am because I worked very hard for myself, taking care of my kids without a man in my life. Thank you.
Yasmin?
Okay, so my message goes to the sexual abuse victims. There's nothing wrong with you. It wasn't your fault. Whatever happened wasn't your fault. Speak out, speak up. Say something to someone. Get help.
It's very important for us to know and understand that we just need to own our emotions and deal with it with people who understand emotional health. That is just what I really want to say, because those who don't understand it will make you feel that you are a bad person. Savannah Opticals, thank you for supporting us opposite Tamale VR main office. Make sure that you go there to check all your eye care needs every Monday to Saturday. Totilium Industrial Company Limited, Juango and Jingo, thank you very much for supporting us. You can get their product almost at all shops in Ghana. It has been a great conversation. I'm Martha Spice. Have a good night.